Sinestro has officially been cast in HBO's upcoming Green Lantern series, which promises to be a must-watch event for DC fans. Plus, we have an update on Marvel Animation's new series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and we'll take a look at how the weekend box office shaped up. Welcome to Movie Mornings, your daily dose of movie news with a cup of coffee. How are we doing, everybody? Good morning. It's Monday. Again, we've made it to the beginning of another week. Man, can you believe it? It's been a week. It's only been 1 week since last Monday. You ever want to not be alive? I'm joking. Hey, you know what? Let's have fun today. Let's have a good morning, everybody. Let's grab a cup of coffee and sit back and listen to some updates that we've got on some pretty interesting news that broke over the weekend. So, set my coffee down here. Let's kick things off with Sinestro's casting in Green Lantern and what this means for the series and the DC universe. So, this comes from Rosie Cordero at Deadline. Ulrich Thompson, known for Counterpart and The Blacklist, has been tapped to reoccur in the HBO and DC Studios series Lanterns as DC supervillain Sinestro. That's right, everybody. Listen, I'm a big Green Lantern fan from back in the day. I say back in the day, I mean when Jeff Jones wrote it in the mid-2000s. So was that back in the day? I guess technically it's been 20 to 15 years ago. So yeah, I guess you could consider it back in the day. And Sinestro, I feel goes hand in hand with the Green Lantern the franchise, universe, comics, stories, whatever. To me, he's as important a character in the Green Lantern mythos as Lex Luthor is to the Superman mythos. So very, very excited that we're actually getting another stab at Sinestro here. But let's keep moving on with the story here. So the series follows new recruit John Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, and Lantern legend Hal Jordan, played by Coach Kyle Chandler. That's real good, Matt. It's real good. But it's not good enough. Anybody else watch Friday Night Lights? I almost said Firefly. Friday Night Lights. Anybody? God, what a great show. So good, right? Remember when Michael B. Jordan was on that? That's pretty great. Just saying. Two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murderer in the American heartland, which is interesting for a sci-fi series. Hey, Lou, what you doing? My dog Lucy is in here. She's just trying to jump up on me, apparently. Sinestro is a former Green Lantern who turned rogue and is described as ruthless, yet undeniably charming. Sinestro's manipulative nature drives his endearing obsession with his former mentee, Hal Jordan. Is mentee? I guess that's the right word. It just makes me think of a manatee. And obviously Hal Jordan's not manatee, right? Otherwise, what Green Lantern comic was I reading? Sinestro was created by John Broome and Gil Kane and first appeared in the comic book Green Lantern Volume 2, number 56, released in 1961. The previously announced cast includes Kelly MacDonald as Sheriff Carey, Garrett Dillahunt as modern cowboy William McCone, and Purna Jogathan as Zoe. And I'm so sorry for everyone for just completely butchering all of those names. I'm so sorry. A potential love interest for John. That's Zoe, just to be clear. Meanwhile, via Chris McPherson at Collider, we actually found out a little bit more about the Green Lantern series. So DC's upcoming series Lanterns is one of the most anticipated projects to come from the new studio's new era. So naturally, when Collider's Steve Wintraub caught up with Porna Jonathan, I'm definitely butchering that, at Sundance, the conversation took a quick detour to Lanterns. The series, part of DC Studios Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate, Jonathan, it's not Jonathan, it's Young Anathan. Youngnathan. Let's just say that. Youngnathan. I'm so sorry. Will be playing a key supporting role alongside Garrett Dillahunt and Kelly MacDonald as the no-nonsense sheriff of the town that is suddenly awash with superpowered beings. Described as a detective story in the vein of True Detective, the show will follow Green Lanterns as they investigate a dark, earthbound mystery that ties into larger intergalactic stakes. When asked about the project, Jonathan didn't hold back. There is the first script that I've read that I understand why there's an NDA. She said, everything is so insane. It's the best writing that I've ever heard. Lucy, what are you doing? She has the zoomies for some reason. I don't understand. Luke, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry, everybody. It's okay. I have a dog in my arms. Here she is. Okay, let's get back. And she's licking me. Let's get back to the story now. Let's see here. Jonathan went on to explain how the script makes a traditional, dense genre feel accessible. I don't know anything about sci-fi. I don't care, actually, she admitted. But this script makes sci-fi seem like my world. It makes it so accessible to me. I understand everything about this world, even though I don't understand this world. So it's the best sci-fi script I've ever read. And as for when production gets underway, Jonathan revealed, we start Tuesday. We start camera testing Tuesday. So they start camera testing Tuesday. Does that mean they actually start filming Tuesday? Or does that mean that they're just camera testing on Tuesday? Because that's a different situation, I would imagine. I feel like camera tests come like way before. I feel like that's a pre-production kind of thing. But hey, what do I know? So exciting to hear. All this news about Green Lantern series has always been a bit confounding to me. I love the showrunners, Damon Lindelof, the co-creator of Lost. I know some people have mixed feelings, but he also did Watchmen. So like, if you like the Watchmen series, that was also Damon Lindelof, which is phenomenal, by the way. If you've not watched the Watchmen series, oh my God, it's so freaking good. One season done. There never needs to be another season. It's perfect. It's perfect. And then of course Tom King, who is just a phenomenal writer, did one of my favorite runs on Batman on DC Comics. He did this one issue about Elmer Fudd being in Gotham. I know it sounds stupid. It's really good. It's like stupid good. It's great. Like he turns all the Looney Tunes characters into like real people in Gotham. Like they're all like their nicknames. It's great. I'm just telling you. Listen, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it's great. It's wonderful. The fact that this is going to be a, earthbound, True Detective style show is very interesting, especially when like looking at like Creature Commandos and Superman. Like it's the world of the DC universe that we're building is very, I don't want to say whimsical, but like it doesn't necessarily hide the fact that it's a very bright superheroic universe, right? And granted, there can be dark stories that take place in that, obviously, but like the world is aware of superheroes, so like I don't even think we're gonna get like Hal and John like hiding their true identities, pretending to just be normal detectives. Like I feel like everybody's gonna know they're Green Lanterns, because why bother hiding it? So it's gonna be interesting. Like I'm optimistically curious about the show. Like I have belief that it'll be good, but I'm in the back of my mind, I'm also holding the fact that it could be a rough thing to get into, until I get used to the idea of exactly what they're going for. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. It's a very, sorry, I'm just turning the music down. I'm excited. I'm honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I'm just excited we're getting another stab at Green Lantern. Like, as much as I didn't like the Ryan Reynolds movie, I thought that it was fine. given the time that it came out. Like, it's ridiculous that they were still making the choices they were making. I mean, one look at Hector Hammond, and my God, they should have known. How do you look at that and not think we've made some bad choices along the way? Like, that looked awful. But Green Lantern itself, and like the ideas behind Green Lantern, I think it's going to be good. Green Lantern is such a wonderfully rich universe to play in. And I love the powers, I love the suits, I love the meaning behind what they do. They're not fearless, but they overcome fear, right? Like, they have to be afraid, but then they have to do what the right thing is in spite of being afraid. I think it's great, honestly. I'm very excited to see what they do. Hope they get more lore in there, maybe not in the first season, but I'd love to see like some Blue Lanterns show up, maybe the Red Lanterns. Obviously, the Sinestro Corps needs to be in there at some point. Yeah, I would love to see any and all of it. And I mean, Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. Like, what are we doing? It's fantastic. You kidding me? It's going to be great. You know what? Remove any doubt. I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. All right. Swinging over to Marvel. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man premieres this Wednesday, and we've already got some exciting news about it. So this comes via the movie podcast over on Twitter. Unfortunately, I had to go over to Twitter to find this. It was shared, I think Culture Crave shared it on, what's it called? Blue Sky, which is the only place I'm at now. But yeah, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is greenlit through season 3. Marvel Studios' Brad Winterbaum says he's meeting with Mr. Jeff Trammell soon to hear the pitch. Scripts for season 2 are also done, and animatics are halfway finished. The full interview will be released on Tuesday on the movie podcast. That's right, everybody. Okay. That's right. We've got season 3 already in the works for the new Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm excited. I'm excited that we're getting a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon. I've been very vocal about this. I'd much rather have Spider-Man 98 to go alongside, X-Men 97. The Spider-Man series from Fox Kids was like my favorite Spider-Man of all time. So I would much rather have that. That being said, this looks interesting. Like, it looks cool. We've got the image on the screen. I like the cell shaded aspect of it. It looks like it's going to be somewhat inspired by Homecoming, but not quite. I know initially the idea was that this was a prequel series to Homecoming, and it would show like the early days of Peter as Spider-Man in like his homemade suit and stuff. And then I guess in coming up with storylines and stuff, they decided to go just a self-centered universe. And I think that's a good call. Like, as much as I would like to see a prequel to Homecoming and see, like, how did Peter actually become Spider-Man? I mean, we kind of missed all that. Obviously, we know we got bit by a spider, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we know we don't need it, but it would be a cool little, like, short animated series. Like, I'd be down to see it that way. Maybe see Uncle Ben, Adam Scott, Uncle Ben. It's not tied to Adam Webb at all. Please don't get it twisted. But no, the fact that they're so certain that this show will be good, that they've already greenlit it through season 3, and obviously greenlighting used to mean something. It used to mean that there's no chance that it's not going to happen. But we've seen recent days that there's been shows, even though they've been greenlit, that they have been canned. But I will say the fact that the animatics are already halfway done for season 2, I think at the very least we're going to get season 2. Even if like season 1 bombs, I think they'll still do season 2, simply because it's already half done. But I hopefully it goes good. I mean, they have a pretty strong belief it's going to be good, and so they're going to do season 3. That's exciting. It gets me a little bit more excited for the show, knowing that it's believed in that it's going to go somewhere. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about this new Spider-Man show? I believe it's supposed to premiere on Wednesday, I believe that means it'll be like 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. I will look further into this and have an update for y'all tomorrow when we talk about all the new releases coming out this week. So be sure and come back tomorrow to hear all of that info about when you can actually watch the next Spider-Man series. So let's move on now and talk about the weekend box office. This is where Flight Risk has flown to the top spot. And here's how the weekend numbers shook out. And which films made the biggest impact. You know, I'd be going a lot quicker with the sound effects if I didn't have a dog laying in my arms. Just saying. Like, I love her to death. Love our dog Lucy. But, like, it does not make it easy to hit the soundboard. Like, I'm basically one-handed this. That was the actual one I meant. All right, let's get into it. So, via Rebecca Rubin at Variety, we love a good Rebecca Rubin story, am I right? The box office report. Okay, the box office report for the weekend. Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg's Flight Risk flies to number 1. I love her puns. With 12 million in yet another glacial weekend. I'm trying to think if that's a pun on the Flight Risk, but I don't think it is. I think it's just because it's a slow, cold weekend. So I guess glacial kind of, you know what? We'll give it to her. Good job, Rebecca. Flight Risk, an action thriller directed by Mel Gibson and starring Wahlberg. That's what I was going to say. Mark Wahlberg, as a balding, unhinged pilot, landed in first place with $12 million from 30,161 North American theaters in its opening weekend. It's the second consecutive Lionsgate release following Den of Thieves 2 Pantera to debut at number 1. As the studio takes advantage of January's otherwise desolate box office landscape. The film cost $25 million, so it'll need to keep flying during its theatrical run. That could be challenging because critics and audiences lambasted the film, which holds a dismal 21% average on Rotten Tomatoes and a lousy C grade on CinemaScore. I'll be honest, I have no desire to watch Flight Risk. I don't really have any desire to watch anything with Mel Gibson in it, if I'm being completely honest. That dude sucks. I mean, he does, you know. Mark Wahlberg, I don't know enough. I would say he probably isn't great. Like, I'm pretty sure he wanted to work with Mel Gibson again. I think they've worked together twice now, maybe 3 times. You know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna watch it. If you watched it, let me know what you thought. I don't think I'll ever watch it, so feel free. You know what? I'm giving you a green flag here. Spoil the crap out of it in the comments if you want. If you went and watched it, give all the spoilers in the chat. All right. And if anybody doesn't like it, then you point them to this timestamp, whatever it is. And you say, well, see, Matt said it was okay. So I'm completely spoiling Flight Risk. I don't think anybody's gonna care. I'll be honest. I don't think anyone's gonna care. But another newcomer, Steven Soderbergh's ghost thriller Presence, which is the one that I was wanting to go watch, opened in 6th place with just $3.4 million from 1,700 cinemas. The low-budget film was better liked by critics with 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, but audiences only gave it a C+ grade on CinemaScore. Lucy Liu and Chris Sullivan star in Presence, told from the perspective of the supernatural entity that's haunting their new home. I think it sounds great. I'm pretty sure, based on the trailer, now obviously I've not watched it, but I'm pretty sure the whole movie takes place in like first-person view, and that it's from the perspective of the Presence, which sounds awesome, if I'm being honest. Like, I love, horror movies, spooky movies with a certain kind of twist on it. Like, I'm a sucker for found footage type stuff. So I don't know. I'm planning, hopefully, we didn't get to go watch anything this weekend because Henry celebrated his first birthday. And we had him a little party. And, so we didn't go watch a movie, but we're planning on going this weekend. And I don't think there's anything else coming out that I want to watch. So hopefully I can report back next Monday and let you know if presence is worth checking out. I personally think it will be, but apparently it came in 6th, so what do I know? What do I know, you know? Second place, though, went to Disney's Mufasa, which opened 6 weeks ago. The Lion King prequel added an additional $8.7 million from 3,400 cinemas, bringing its tally to $221 million in North America and $626.7 million globally. So it's still doing great. Sony's R-rated buddy comedy One of Them Days slid into 3rd place with $8 million from 2,600 theaters, marking a scant 32% decline from its opening. That's actually really low. If anybody remembers back from our hopefully awesome days, we would do the box office breakdown, and most of the time the second weekend you're gonna see 50 plus percentage drop. So I mean a 32% drop from weekend 1 to 2 that's nothing. So apparently this movie's great. Apparently it's great. I don't know. I need to watch it. The film, starring Keke Palmer and SZA, is benefiting from positive word of mouth and has generated $25 million after 2 weekends of release. So I do like Keke Palmer. I need to watch it. I'll watch it at some point. Next up, Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 remained in 4th with $5.5 million in its 6th outing. The kid-friendly threequel has grossed $226 million in North America and $446 million worldwide. I believe the franchise hit $1 billion last weekend, which is pretty great. And also, Sonic 3 actually released on digital, so it's interesting that it still was able to hit the number 4 slot, even though you can actually watch it at home now if you want to. So, interesting. Always interesting. Disney's Moana 2 rounded out the top 5 with $4.1 million, boosting its tally to $448 million after 9 weeks on the big screen. And I know it for certain hit $1 billion, including worldwide. So, I mean, it's just dominating. It's crazy. Obviously, the big story here is that it was going to be a streaming show and then got converted into a movie instead. And I mean, I guess you could say that gamble worked. I mean, it made $1 billion, whereas it would have just been a streaming service show. So, I guess Bob Iger still knows what he's doing, even though sometimes he makes really stupid, terrible decisions. Not as bad as somebody what's his name? David Zaslav. Blah. God, David Zaslav. Get out of here. Get out of here. Meanwhile, Universal and Blumhouse's horror thriller Wolfman, which also opened last weekend, tumbled to number 7 with $3.4 million. Ticket sales cratered by 69% from the film's already soft start. Oh, get it? 69 soft start. Get it? I'm sorry, everybody. Bringing its domestic total to $17.8 million, Wolfman isn't making up ground overseas, where the $25 million budget movie added only $3.5 million from 75 markets for a global tally of only $27 million. That being said, overall, the box office is improving on 2024 with ticket sales up 10.9% from the same point a year ago. So that's always good to hear. I actually really like Wolfman. I hate it's getting such a bad rap. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was not fun. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a great, interesting take on, the classic Wolfman story. It's not really dude turning into a wolf. It is. It's wolf-like features, but I just thought it was really good. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe I'm terrible at this. Maybe I just have the worst opinions when it comes to movies. Oh, man. But hey, what do I know? What do any of us know, if we're being honest? But there you have it. We got Sinestro set to make waves in Green Lantern. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is swinging towards season 3. And Flight Risk is taking a flight to the box office. So, what do you think about Sinestro's casting? Are you excited to see a new chance for a live-action Green Lantern series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you're wanting any other bad guys to pop up. If you are a Green Lantern fan, who would be your most anticipated villain to show up? Let me know. Star Sapphire would also be a pretty good one, especially if they went the the certain route. I don't necessarily want to say it because it's a spoiler, but like if they go the one route with the Star Sapphire, that would make the most sense for Hal. That would be pretty cool. I think that could be an interesting story. I don't know if it'd fit into like the series 1 narrative of like a true detective story. Probably not, but I mean, I'd be down for it. But hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, hitting the like button does way more than you think it does. It tells YouTube not only that you enjoyed this, and it shows us that you enjoyed it, but it also tells YouTube to share this with more people just like you, and it helps us grow this awesome community that we're trying to build together. So be sure and hit that like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you are on a podcast network listening to us, be sure and give us a 5-star rating and review. That as well shares the podcast further. And if you leave us a review, I'll be happy to read it live right here on the show. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. I will be back again tomorrow with your new releases for this week, as well as when you can watch Spider-Man. And tonight, we're going to be back again with another live stream right here on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome for Sonic Adventure. Still the first one. I almost said 02, but we're not in Adventure 2 yet. So we're still in just the first one. So it's definitely going to be fun. Definitely come hang out with us. Again, that's youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. But that is going to wrap it up for me. Thanks for watching. And as always, have a hopefully awesome day. Goodbye.